through Stony Brook Cohort and South Huntington. Tonight we're going to have Brian St. Pierre teach us a little bit about Google Sites and the ins and outs, and there are a bunch of questions that people have. So why don't we start with you, Teresa? If you have some questions, we can move on from there.
I find it hard to order the pages sometimes. I just through trial and error, I realized I was creating subpages when I wasn't trying to create subpages. So I finally figured out I had to always say, put it first, because and to me it's just not clear how to do that. And I mean, I figured it out, but ordering pages and also moving from the horizontal, from the vertical tabs to make it horizontal. Can you just go into that a little bit?
Sure. That was one of the questions submitted was actually that. So I will. So I'll do a screen share right now, and I'll show you on. I kind of created a test page for this.
Okay.
And I'll hold on. Let me just set it back to the sidebar so that then I can show you. That's I find that is one of the most common common features that people ask for. So okay, I'm gonna do a screen share. Okay, you can all see my site now.
Right. Yes.
Test website. Okay, so here it is. This is like the default, the sidebar right here.
Right.
And a lot of people would prefer to have the horizontal tabs up top. So what you do is you come up to the gear up here,
Okay.
and you click there, and you come down to the edit site layout, and click right there. And so once you do that, that's going to give you your ability to decide where you want that sort of menu. And so if you want to move it from the sidebar over to here up to the top, you would click on horizontal navigation, and that would move it up here. And then if you want to take the sidebar off, if you don't want it twice, you'd click sidebar. Now you'll see, actually I should do this for a second. You'll see right now in the sidebar I actually have several different pages here, and only 2 appear up at the top.
Okay.
So I'll show you what you want to do. Because initially what's going to happen, I added these in before. Initially what's going to happen is you're just going to have the home page up here. And you're going to think, wait a minute, where'd all my other pages go? So what you do is you're going to kind of scroll over where the navigation bar is so that it's highlighted like this. And you're going to click there. And if you come down to the bottom or middle, I guess, right here, you're going to see it says Add Page. And if you click there, then it gives you all of the different pages you have so that you can choose which ones you want to add. So I have test 1 and 2. If I want test 3, I click OK. You'll see there it is. If I want to add this other one, test A, I would do the same thing. And I click OK, and there you see test 3 is there now. And so that's how you go from the sidebar to the horizontal at the tab. But it is tricky because one, you have to find, you have this menu which is a little clunky, and it's not always easy to know where to go to find it in here. And then once you find it, it doesn't by default put all of your pages up at the top. You have to go through and one at a time choose them.
Okay, so I hover over the navigation bar to move them over, and once I hover over it, I then do what? I click on, once I highlight it, I click on it?
To add the different tabs up here, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you go, let me come back to it. So you hover over it like this, so it's highlighted.
Okay.
You click on it.
Okay.
And then you come to the add page right here.
Okay.
And
Okay.
by clicking on that, it'll bring up a menu of all of your pages.
All right.
And you'll see the plus here by home. I have a sub page under there. So if I wanted that sub page up there, I could do that. And you may have pages you don't want up at the top too. I don't know. So, but whatever you would want up at the top, you one by one go up and add it in.
Well, how do you order the pages? Like, let's say you want test 3, if it had a
Up
real
at the
name to
top.
be before test 1 or something.
So I highlight it like this,
Okay.
and then I click the up arrow right here,
Okay.
and I move it up to the top.
All right.
And maybe I wanted test B next. I move that up the same way. Then OK, and you can see now it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And Teresa, I think it's also important to note on Brian's screen that when you go to the gear, the two that edit the most pages are edit page layout and manage site.
Right. Okay.
Those are really the ones that you're going to use the most.
Right.
Just because of the way that sites is set up.
Right. Most of the other stuff you're going to use rarely. Maybe like a one-time fix with something. These are the two you would use most often.
Okay.
And so it's one of the things I don't really love about Google Sites is that you get this whole long list of things, but it's mostly
those are the two that you need.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay. So do you have any other questions about sites?
Yeah, when I wanted to to insert links, I know how to do it, but I just have a bunch of links. Is there a way that you can insert it so that there's an image and you can click on the image and the video shows?
So you want to be able to click on an image to take you to a link?
Well, I guess so. You know how sometimes when you insert a YouTube video, let's say in a doc or a slide, the actual picture shows.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You want, so not so much just have an image that links to a web page. You want to be able to show like an embedded video.
Right.
Okay, yes. Let me show you how to do that.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to all right, so I'm on YouTube. I'm like a real Star Wars fanatic, so I have all these Star Wars videos right up at the top. So I'll just grab this first one. Okay. So now you can see my YouTube page right now, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what you want to do is the first thing is on your YouTube. You go to the video you want. Okay. And you come down to see where it says share here.
Okay.
And it has that little arrow.
All right.
You're going to click there, and that brings up this menu right here with share, embed, email. And you want to click this middle one, embed, so that that's bolded. And it will bring up this code, which is highlighted automatically.
Okay.
All right. You're going to copy that code.
Okay.
Then you come to your website. All right.
Okay.
So you decide where you want on your website. So say, for example, I just test B is where I really want this video.
Okay.
So I would click the pencil up here like I was editing the page.
Okay.
And I decide where I want it on the page. I want it right here. I want to, center it. And you'll see up here the tab that says HTML.
Okay.
You're going to click on the HTML tab, and then you're going to actually, I shouldn't have centered it first. To make it easy, let's just do this. Okay, you're going to click on the HTML tab, and you're just going to paste that embed code right in there.
Okay.
All right, and click update. And now you're going to it'll appear as this white box right now. Okay, if you click on the white box, that's where that's the easiest way to center it if that's what you're looking to do. Okay, and then you click Save, and now you're going to see it's embedded on the page.
Oh, all right. Okay.
So the key is, and this isn't just with YouTube videos, it's with, you'll see lots of, whether it's videos or other types of web content that often it's that you'll see that sort of that arrow in the share button, and that'll often take you to a place where whatever it is you want to embed, it will take you to this sort of embed code. And that's written in HTML language, so you would
Have to click the HTML.
yeah, that's the key, is making sure you click the HTML tab.
All right. What if you run into a video? Well, are all the videos in HTML or no?
Yeah, you'll never find a video without that code.
Oh, okay.
You'll find it you could choose any video in the, on YouTube, and it's going to have that code. That's like a standard thing. And so it's just that, what happens sometimes is they'll go into, hold on. Oops. People will go into to paste it, and they'll do something like this, and they won't click the HTML tab, and they'll just paste the code in, and they'll click Save, and they're like, wait a minute, why isn't it working? And you get this sort of thing,
That was happening to me, and I didn't quite understand what I was. Okay, now I understand.
Right, and so if that happens, you just remember, ooh, okay, that means I forgot to click the HTML tab, and so you click that, and then you paste it in there, and then you're good.
Okay, so you said hit save or update. Did you?
Here, I'll show you again. You want to let's do it. I'll do it
after
here.
I click. Well, no, just after I click the HTML.
So after you click the
HTML
HTML,
at the bottom. Okay, I
paste it in. Yeah, you click update here.
Okay.
And then you hit save on the regular menu.
All right. Okay. All right, and then the image appears.
Yeah.
Okay, because what was happening was I was just getting a bunch of links on my pages, and I mean that's not really appealing. So.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, visually it's a lot more appealing if you have the embedded video, and it's, it's easier for whoever's on your page to just click and watch it right there.
Right.
And I always prefer that to linking to a video also, because it keeps them on your page.
Right.
So yeah, that's the best way to do it. But it's just a matter. But again, it's not just YouTube too. There'll be lots of different sites and different web content where you'll see embed codes, and that's what those codes can do for you. You grab them there, but anytime you're working with an embed code, you always have to go to that HTML tab.
Okay. Now, when you accessed YouTube, did you do it through your site, or did you just open another tab and go in that way?
I just opened another tab and went to YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So any other sites questions?
Yeah, I didn't know if they had a question. I have another one.
Is there anyone else here yet? Or?
Yeah, we have we have Laura and Rich.
Hey, Laura and Rich.
Hi.
Thanks,
Brian.
Thank you.
No problem. I don't know when you two jumped in, but and if I've answered anything you wanted to know yet, or if you have any questions, I'm happy to sort of take those and try and help you out.
I have a question. Is there a way to either add to the site or format the site where you can have a horizontal scroll bar?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so let's see. So you can see right now, you can see my page, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you can see I have it right now. So
Oh, that's not. I'm sorry. That's maybe I need to. I'm not using the correct terminology. Basically, when I have my Google site, I want to have a Google Doc side by side with a video. But when I do that, the text of the Google Doc, in order to have them side by side, the text of the Google Doc is very small. So I was wondering if there was a way where, like, we have the vertical scroll bar where you want to scroll down the page, you hit the down arrow and you're able to scroll down the page. I was wondering if there was a way where you could format the site.
Understand what you're asking. So you would like on your page to be able to have I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna take my screen sharing off for a second. Okay, you would like to have on your page a Google Doc, kind of like full-size Google Doc, and
Yes.
next to it a video. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. I want to try something. I've never actually done that, so I want to try something, and I want to see how it comes out, and hopefully it's going to answer that question for you. But the other thing I will tell you is that part of that may also have to do with how, like if I'm thinking if you zoom back on the web page, you know how you can kind of zoom in or back on web page
Yes.
with control plus or minus. Well, I think that will. I'm thinking that may help also, but let's try and do it the way I'm thinking of first, and then we'll take it from there.
It
All
sounds
right.
so simple. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, no, but so here's what I'm thinking. Okay, so I'm gonna screen share again. Okay, everyone can see, right? Test 3.
Mhm.
Okay. So the way I think the best way to go about it would be to edit page, to center your cursor, and to insert a table with
Okay.
2 columns like this. And now from there, let's try to I don't know why that's not centered, but I'm not going to worry about that for a second. Okay. So from there, I'm going to try to here insert a Google document. And let's see. All right, I guess it doesn't matter. Include. And then next to it, were you here? You know how to embed video?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so next to it, I'm just going to, let's see. No, that didn't work. Okay. Hold on. Okay, so this is where, so when I tried to paste that code in, it took me below this other column. So what I'm going to try and do is I have to figure out where, now do you know much about HTML code?
Not really. Not
Okay.
my strong suit.
So generally speaking, when you see like this down here, like inside these brackets, the backslash.
Right.
Okay, the backslash is generally speaking where something ends.
Okay.
Okay, so so this tells me like the table starts right here and it ends right here.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna see what happens if I paste that in here. I know this is probably okay, so that didn't work.
Can you also do it this way? If you click insert
from YouTube and then grab the URL.
Yeah, grab the URL, and if you need to insert a gadget, the iframe gadget, it might be easier than trying to figure out in the code. I mean, I understand what you're saying with the code, but I know that not everybody's.
No, I actually think this is the much easy. Let's just see. This is probably going to work actually. Yeah. Um, and so sometimes I'll take the really roundabout, complicated ways to do things, and then realize just like that, there's a much simpler way. So I save that now. Ooh, okay. Um, all right.
You see, these were the same issues that I was having when I was on the edit screen. The edit screen made it seem like everything was formatted perfectly.
Right.
And then as soon as I would hit save, it was almost as if Sites kind of auto-formatted it again.
Yeah.
And
That's honestly one of the big drawbacks to Google Sites, and it's one of the things that it's often just a process of playing around with a lot.
okay.
But having said that, like the way it came out there was totally, that didn't look good at all. So I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, on properties, could it be the put it in width or change the pixelation?
Yeah. Like let's see if. Let me
'Cause-
just see what happens if I throw a random. All right, so there's that. So now if that was at 300.
yeah, you
So
probably need like 650 or 700.
But then it drops the document underneath the video.
If you get too wide, right,
Get too
Rich?
wide, right?
So it's playing with the laws of averages, trying to figure out where that center is, and keep your
um,
document to one side and your video to the other.
so I mean on my screen anyway,
Yeah.
um, like that looks pretty good
Yeah,
right
no,
there.
that looks readable from where we are too.
And so I think again it's a matter of like we just did playing around with those settings,
Okay.
with the pixels there,
hmm
like we did in here. And I think you can also do the same in the YouTube too. So you can change the size there. That
Right.
was already on the smallest. So, but I think between manipulating those and then, like we said in the beginning, just in terms of, like I know there are certain things that'll look one way on my desktop here, and then I'll go to school and I'll bring up my site at school and I'll be like, whoa,
Yeah.
like it looks totally different. And so then it's kind of some things will appear differently on different screens. So sometimes then I'm just zooming in or out on the website too in my
Right.
browser too. So I don't know if that was helpful at all.
No, it was. Thank you.
There's no, so this is like the big drawback to Google Sites is there's there's no simple way to do things sometimes. Whereas so like I'm right now teaching EST 567, which is for most of them their project is establishing just any sort of web presence or website. And so like most of them will take a look at Google Sites and they're like, nah, forget this, I'm going to do Weebly or Wix or something like that. And so, but so it's one of the things I don't love Google Sites for building websites, but what I always tell people is if you do figure out how to do it here and you are able to build a good, effective site in this, then you certainly have no trouble anywhere else too. So,
Okay. Cool.
all right.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
When you were referring to the pixels and the height and the width, how do you know which numbers you should choose? How do you know that?
To be honest, I do. It's just like trial and error for me. Bill, I don't know if you have a better method, but for me, I typically will just so like in there it started with 600 and nothing, so we just threw 300 in, and that was way too narrow, so we went up to 700. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And
So
so
trial and error.
it's just sort of trial and error. Yeah. And kind of keeping in mind like when when 300 was way too narrow, 700 made sense because I wanted to more than double it, sort of thing,
Okay.
So again, it's for me anyway. There's no real scientific or exact way to do it. It's just sort of playing around and figuring it out.
Okay. Can you show me how to do that wrap around, an image or a video? I mean, I
So,
know, yeah, I'm not quite sure. I know the tool is there. I'm just not quite sure how to do it.
so to be able to embed an image and then have the text sort of go
Right.
right around it while you're writing. Okay.
Yeah, I can embed, but I don't know how to do the wrap part.
Right. Okay. So let me. Okay. So we'll jump back to here and no, there's that video. Okay, test one. So we need to find a picture. What's a fun picture? It's almost Valentine's Day, right? There we go. So you grab whatever your picture is. Okay. I'm going to use this picture just for this. So I go to edit the page and I go to insert the picture.
Yeah, can you share, Brian?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't
That's all right.
realize.
That's all right.
I forgot to click share. Okay.
It's okay.
All right. There we go. Right.
Yep,
Right.
good.
Okay. All right. So I'm in my page. All right. I come up to insert image. For this one, I'm using a URL because it's easiest right now. And I click OK. And then what I would do here, let's make this a little bit smaller. So what I'm going to do here is I click the wrap on. And actually, hold on. I want to start down a little just so you can see how the text goes around. So insert image. Okay, so you click this wrap on button, and actually, there we go. Okay, save. All right, so then you should be able to come in and start typing.
Okay.
I'm going to just go to a really large font here so that, okay. Let me get all. And you'll see it's just going to wrap right around the picture. No, it's not.
It's not wrapping. Yeah.
It's not wrapping. Okay, let's try this. I think I know what I did. Okay, so that, let's see. That's what it's so if you have text before it, like that, it's just going to it shouldn't look like that.
Mm.
Another workaround that I sometimes do, guys, is I work in tables, because it's just easier sometimes when you have pictures and words
Mm-hmm.
to understand that if I want text to go across the top of something, I'd have a table, and then if I want a picture in the middle, I would have two text boxes on the side. So I would either put information on one side of the image or on the other, or use it for something else. But I think that it kind of keeps everything in a nice, organized way, so that if you ever had to change just one part of the table, you could do it without changing the entire
Okay.
page. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just another way of looking at it too. It's a workaround.
So just use the text boxes to, well, the chart would be
The
the text box.
tables.
Yeah.
So, Brian, can you put a table in and put the picture in, and then
Yeah, no problem.
like have
Okay.
a table above it, and
Also, I just wanted to. So this is what I was trying to figure out. So let me just show you this, and then I'll show you exactly what Bill was talking about. So what? Okay, and then I decided where I wanted the image to be, like within the text. So I had it like this first, right?
Right.
So I wrote all my text. Then I decided, where within that text I wanted the image, and I placed it in there, and I made it smaller. Then I clicked the wraparound button, and that allowed the text to see how it's wrapped around now.
Okay. So text first, then image, then size it, and then click the wraparound.
Right, right.
Okay.
Okay, and then so what Bill was talking about, and I agree with him, in terms of what we were talking about. I'm going to get rid of all this. Is to just come up to tables, into depending on what you're trying to do. Sometimes it's easiest just to do just to use tables to put things in somewhere.
Okay.
So to sort of add a table wherever it is within your page that you're looking to do. And so you would just come up to table and however many squares you needed. I know sometimes like it's a pain to add captions sometimes to pictures. So what I'll do sometimes is I'll create a cell like that. I'll enter down and put like put my caption in, and then size it how I want. Then I'll come up and put in the image that I want under the caption that way.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it is, that's so yeah.
So you just put them both inside of the cell. Okay.
Yeah, and yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Any other questions from anyone?
I don't know if this is very kind of general or if it's too general a question. The gadgets are similar to like extensions or add-ons. They're like the same kind of idea, more or less.
Yes.
they're like labs.
Okay.
So they've created these tools that you never know if they're going to be there from month to month, depending on their popularity. Some of them they integrate into other programs, but sometimes they can just do away with it too.
Right. There were a couple, just from doing Google searches, a couple gadgets that I was looking to use, and then I couldn't find them on there, so I kind of assumed that they were eliminated.
Right.
I'm used to, I'm familiar with iFrame. Are there any other ones, kind of day-to-day application that like we should be using, or is it all just kind of dependent on what we want our website to function as?
I I don't know of any, to be honest. This is just coming from me. I don't know. I honestly don't use the gadgets a lot.
Okay.
Just I guess partially for the reason Bill was saying. I find some things appear and disappear, and so I just tend not. I don't have a lot of experience using them, so
Okay.
I'm probably not the best person to answer that question. So I don't want to tell you there's not. More than anything, I wouldn't be the right person to answer it.
No, but that does answer the question. My
Okay.
question. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I think that using some of the cheats in a sense that we went through tonight, you know, use tables whenever you can, because I think that they could really keep your site organized.
Okay.
And the great thing about not, we would see the lines in terms of editing, but when you post a site, nobody's going to see all those lines. And for organizational boundaries, for us, it's easier because, like Brian was creating the Valentine's Day picture with the text, on a website that's only going to be up for a short period of time, and then an editor or webmaster's got to come in and take that down, put something else in its place. It'd be easier just to fix that one box than it is to change the entire document,
Okay.
because sometimes you don't want to change the entire document. It's only one tiny little piece of information,
Right.
which keeps the page fresh, because when people come back to it, they go, oh, this isn't the same site. Yeah, it is the same info, but it just has new stuff. So you want to make it as easy as possible to change it if you had to.
Right.
But I think adding tabs across the top, a lot of people like that look versus the vertical look of having pages on the right or the left side. It seems to be the new school thing. I think it's also more visually appealing because it's right there. The only other thing that I think that others might want to know is how to change the banner at the top of the page.
Okay.
And it's the same thing. Brian, if you want to take them in and
Sure.
show them how to change the default logo,
So
or insert their own logo.
so it's just again, you come to the gear, and then
It just you gotta share again. Sorry.
oh, I'm sorry, I made the same mistake. I keep forgetting to hit share. Okay, so you come to the gear up top, and it's just edit site layout. Teresa, remember before we told you almost everything's in there,
It's
right?
either edit or manage.
Yeah, and this is just this is where you play with the header up there. So and then if you want to edit it, if you want to keep it but you want it different, you click here, and here's our, where you can add images or, change things in that sense. So, it all, and that depends on what I'm one of those people who I like just, I never get to play around with that sort of stuff a lot, but some people get really, they're really interested in really making that look just as they want it. So, but that's how you would do it.
Can you have to have an image already in a file, or can you just go on YouTube and find something, or go on Google and just find something?
Well, you would, if you took an image offline, you would have to save it.
And put it in a file and then choose the file.
Right, right. So you're right. It's not like embedding an image where you could use a URL.
Okay, all right.
Right.
Can you add animation to the header, or is it just
I don't think you can.
Okay.
No, I mean, this is basically the menu you're given to add things, and so it's fairly limited in that sense.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if if you aren't gonna open up a program to create your own logo, there's some free, like one that I have my kids use. It's called Design Mantic. It's very generic, but it works. You can edit the colors, the shapes, everything to it, and then save that as a file, as a logo. It works out really well. Versus trying to come up with something in Pixlr on your own or some other editing software.
Would it be possible to save a GIF image, and then could you upload that from your documents if you saved it as a GIF? Would that work, you think?
Yes. Yeah, you should be able to use that.
I would think you could. I would think you could use one of those. Yeah, I've never tried it.
Okay.
and I don't have any files saved like that right now, but I would think it would work. And so that would be a way to get some animation in there, I guess, if you had, if you have that sort of file saved.
I think, because my kids are always push the envelope, my 8th graders, and I have them make websites as a culminating activity for library media, because they've been there for 9 years and they have tons of resources and things that they've created from family and consumer science, and their all about me pages and just plethora of stuff. So we create a site and we put it in. I'm pretty sure I've seen 1 or 2 of my kids put animated GIFs somewhere, and I don't remember if it was in the header or if it was in the body, but I do remember seeing it.
Okay.
And if I could think about who it was, Laura, I'll ask them to show me.
I think it works
Thank
in.
you.
I think it works in the body. I tried it in the header, and
Yeah.
it just froze the image.
Yeah, I think it is in the body only. But if you design the header to be kind of benign and you had your body up a little higher and you had it towards the corners, I think it would look like it's part of the header.
Like an acting header almost.
Yeah, yeah. And you put a division line in maybe. There's lots of ways to trick,
Well, and the other thing is, I guess if you're going to try that approach where you just had it in the body and just way up at the top, you could also take the header. You could take the actual header off. So like you could, like I wish here. Wait.
yeah, you can eliminate the whole thing too.
So you can, again, through edit site layout, you can just turn the header off. Period. So that then you just have that horizontal menu at the top. So I guess that would be the best way to do it. Yeah, I don't think there's I don't think there's that's probably I don't think there's any way to actually add it into the header. So I would guess taking the header off and doing it up towards the top of the body would be your best bet.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else, you guys?
I'm good.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. You all good, Teresa?
Yeah.